afternoon, Quilt Roadies. Thanks for stopping by. Tomorrow is Thanksgiving here in the U.S., so happy Thanksgiving to all of you who are celebrating. I hope that it is a nice, relaxing day and not a crazy day. We already have been prepping for tomorrow. It's going to be kind of like epic for us because we are going to have both our children and their families here, which doesn't happen very often because of work schedules, and so us moving to this side of the mountain has made that a little bit more of a dream come true for G and I. I'm often asked, since we are a vegan, gluten-free household, how does Thanksgiving work for us? And it's not a problem. It's all about the sides, if you know what I mean. So a traditional Thanksgiving dinner, which some of you may not be aware of because of where you're living, is a giant turkey stuffed to the brim with stuffing, mashed potatoes and gravy, green beans, Jello salad, sweet potatoes, all kinds of snacks, bread rolls. It's just a Thanksgiving feast. But the best part of it all is the sides, and so that's what we concentrate on. I am having a turkey breast for my older son and his family because they are not vegan, and so that will be roasting away in our oven. But other than that, we're going to have gluten-free bread stuffing, and I made sweet potatoes today. I am roasting vegetables, so I'm prepping those to be able to roast in the oven. I made some cranberry sauce this morning, and I love to make it with fresh squeezed orange juice and Grand Marnier. Yum. I found some gluten-free rolls. So it's not going to be, we're not going to be deprived on Thanksgiving. We have a lot to be thankful for. My older daughter-in-law, she is making a gluten-free apple crisp with non-dairy ice cream for dessert. I could make a vegan pumpkin pie, but since she's making an apple crisp, I think I'll just take that off the menu. Yeah, so it's more a day of feasting for us and being together, and we are really looking forward to it. I went ahead and set up a Christmas tree. We are having we have two Christmas trees in our house. One in the family room, I'm going to let my older grandson decorate it when he arrives, because he'll be here a little bit earlier than the other two. And so it'll give him something to do and take something off my plate. So I'm looking forward to watching him decorate my tree. Yeah, I have one of those trees that in our family room that is like a memory tree. I still have ornaments that my children, who are in their 30s and 40s, made when they were in school. So it's filled with memories, All the places we traveled around the world, we always picked up an ornament wherever we were. And so this tree is, it just holds lots of memories for us. I can't wait to see I look forward to seeing the ornaments come out every year. I've been doing a lot more research on, I guess you would call it how my brain ticks. I saw this Netflix show, which I highly recommend. I love, my very favorite books are nonfiction, although I do enjoy a good fiction. There's no two ways about it. But I like this Netflix show that's called Explained. And it's just like barely a 15 or 20 minute episode. And each episode is explaining one particular thing. And I watched one yesterday that was called Focus. And it talks about how one gets focus or loses focus. It's quite interesting. And one of the things they said is that handwork increases your focus. Well, I knew that. You probably knew that too. That's probably why I enjoy it so much, because it is that time where I can concentrate and focus on one thing without my brain going all over the place. I have been trying to figure out a plan for next year. You always have all these big ideas and big dreams and what you're going to do, and you set these goals, and then when you don't meet the goal, you kind of feel, like, oh man, why can't I meet that goal? And I kind of want to give up all of that that negative talk of not being able to finish things, because I do eventually finish them. It's just that process may take me longer, or I might see something that I'm enjoying better or more in the moment. And so I have decided to just kind of relax a little bit. I was reading a comment, a message that I received about having lots of things prepped, and then just whatever you feel like, picking it up and working on it for however as long as you want to work on it. And then when you're done, and then you move on, and then you come back around. It adds a variety, and then you don't make your hobby or what you love doing like a job, or that somehow you don't feel like you met you met this nebulous kind of list that you have. I decided that the journal that I bought is not going to work for me. I really thought it might provide me with some insight, but maybe it's because of my age. Although I do believe that we can still learn and grow, I feel pretty darn grounded in how I live my life and my focus. So I really don't want to spend a lot of time figuring out how to be a nicer person, because bottom line is I think I'm a pretty nice person. And what I do want to do, though, is to keep track, just kind of keep track of what I have going on so I don't forget that I have it. Case in point, Autumn Harvest by Buttermilk Basin. I have been working away at the 4 borders, these 4 borders, and I love them. But realistically, this is not going to be done by the end of November. And I could say by the end of December, if that's all I worked on, it would be done by the end of December. But I like Christmas stitching too. So why am I depriving myself because I have this rule? Yeah, I think rules are for kindergarten. So I'm going to be putting this one away for a while. Might bring it out in the middle of winter. and do a few more stitches on it and pick up where I didn't, where I kind of jumped around. I have been enjoying, and I do really hope I can get this done this next week. And it's the, let me just anchor my needle here. It's the Ugly Sweater mat. I am having the best time with this. I hope that you get your stitching out and that you're stitching with me, because I'm going to be stitching on this. The way I have approached this is every so often, it depends on how the wool has been prepped or how old my soft fuse is. Sometimes little pieces might start to lift up, so I went ahead and I stitched all the white down, everything that was white. And then as soon as I got that done, I stitched all the gold tops to all the lights down, because I didn't want to lose those little pieces. And now I'm moved on to the red thread, so I'm stitching everything that's red. And that's kind of how I approach my wool projects, is I look at what could potentially come loose, and I stitch that down first. So I'm pretty sure that I'll have this done this week. It's been so much fun. I did get, I don't know if I showed this to you already, but I did get my two mats done, and I buttonhole stitched around the edge. You know, put a cotton, picked a cotton fabric backing. I might have showed you this already. But these are both done. Very happy about that. Very happy about that. And just to let you know, in the next Quilt Roadie video, I will be prepping this Christmas ornament. So I'll talk about this Christmas ornament and prep it on camera. Linda asked me if I would do that, and I am all about it, because I think this is an adorable ornament and I want it on my tree. This is an adorable project. All Through the Night by Bonnie Sullivan, Winter Friends banner. And I got that done. Isn't that cute? I'm here to tell you, her instructions, well, first of all, the actual banner part is pre-printed, a pre-printed picture that you add wool to. And then you stitch the wool down. But her instructions on how to get the flannel, and this is her flannel, which I absolutely think she makes the yummiest flannel out there. How to do the flannel on the back of this banner, and how to do the top edge and the loop is by far the easiest I have ever done. And she does a lot of these pre-printed, so you get, even if you don't get a full kit with all the wool, you are getting the pre-printed banner part in your pattern. And I'll put the link for her in the drop-down box, but I also know that Pioneer Quilts in Portland, Oregon, carries a lot of her stuff, along with Buttermilk Basin. But isn't that adorable? I just think it's so cute. So I got that done. What else can I share with you? One of the things that I have been thinking about is all of, oh my gosh, I wish you could see this. There's this father and daughter who are riding one of those motorized, it's like a motorized skateboard, but it has one giant wheel. They're riding it up and down this road. So cute, holding hands. She looks like she's about 8 or 10. So awesome. Oh, okay, back to this. One of the things that we've all noticed over the last couple of years, because we are deep into the existence that we're living in, that there have been shops that have closed. I was really sad to hear that Temecula Quilt Company was closing their doors, but I think she's just going online because I have never been in a cleaner shop than that shop. You could have eaten off the floor in that shop. It was absolutely pristine, and she had everything that I loved. But many shops have closed, and although I totally get that we have to be careful with our finances, there are times where I might want to support a shop, especially if they have something that I just am gaga over. So one of the people I follow on Instagram, and I'll put it down below too, is the owner of the Cotton Harvest Quilt Shop. And she's located in Ontario, Canada. And that is, on top of the struggles that shops have, then you add shipping on top of that. And it's been a nightmare for small business. I have to say I'm so glad I'm not in small business right now, because it has got to be the most challenging period right now with small business. And we have no idea when things will change. I know that shipping right now, anything I mail is going to be way over the top. But I always check all these little shops, and when I see something that I absolutely love, I think about, okay, I haven't gotten my hair cut only once in the last almost 2 years. So I've saved a lot of money there. I am not driving around all over the country. And with gas prices, in Southern California, gas prices are over $6 a gallon. I'm saving a lot of money there. So I feel okay about occasionally splurging on something that is going to bring me joy and keep me grounded and focused. Because after all, handwork makes you focused. So when I went on the Cotton Harvest Quilt Shop website, I saw 2 patterns that really, really spoke to me. And she was nice enough to give me a little bit of a break on the shipping. And she also sent me a pack of needles, and they're the GoldenEye needles number 24 that you use for your wool. That was so sweet of her, Trina. So I hope that you'll, follow her on Instagram, and, because this isn't the only job she has. Boy, she's out there working on the farm, let me tell you. So why did I pick these 2 particular patterns? Well, one is that I really wanted to make my home I don't know if I want to say cozy, but really reflect. I want every corner of my home to reflect the things I love and the things that I do. I mean, all you have to do is go visit some of these people. If you follow them on Instagram and they do a view of their decoration or their home. You want to do the same thing. You want to have it's not that you want to do the same thing. You want to have the same feeling of contentment. So the first pattern I bought, when I saw it, it totally was nostalgic to me. Because when I was young, now I'm talking young as in still an adult though, I was in college, I was married, I had a child, and I had a four-year college degree, but I knew that if something happened to G, either he passed away or, no, can you imagine, here I am thinking this stuff, or we got divorced or something, that I was a young mother without any marketable skill. And I had a four-year college degree. So I decided to go back to college. And that's when I went back and became a nurse, which was the best thing I ever did for our family. But while I was in college the second time around for nursing, I had to work, I had a child, G was working full time. We were like all these other young families that are putting everything, they're just burning their candles at both ends. And so I worked at the college library. What a perfect place for me to work at. But I befriended the librarian there, who was an older woman, and by then we were living in a old farmhouse, and I liked everything farm, and she knew that I did, and she gave me this old crock, and it had the blue painted number on it, and it was like my prized possession. And so then down the rabbit hole I went, collecting crocks, collecting farm memorabilia, decor things, and I still have a lot of those still in my house. But when I saw this pattern, I just fell in love with it because of that crock. Isn't that gorgeous? It's called Horse and Buggy Country. It's a wool applique pattern for wall hanging. It's got apples, it's got pumpkins, it's got the crockery, it's got the basket. It has everything that kind of checks all of my boxes. So I decided I needed to make that. So I got that pattern. Now the other thing is, I know I'm rambling a little bit here. The other thing is that I have this laundry room. It's the weirdest laundry room in the world. The best thing about it though is it's on the second floor, which I really like. And this laundry room here in this house has a laundry sink, a counter, some cabinetry, washer and dryer, but it's long and narrow. I mean, if I gain 10 pounds, I'm not getting past that washer and dryer. So there's this whole wall, this whole blank wall. And in my other laundry room, I had like fun little things hanging or sitting around, but this one, it feels kind of claustrophobic in a way. But I thought if I hung something on that big, expansive white wall, that it started cozying up that laundry room, it would be better. Like every corner we want to have decorated. And this came as a kit. I bought it as a kit. You can get it as a pattern, but I bought it as a kit because I wanted that wool that was in the background of the sky. I didn't think I had that color of wool, although who knows really. So I decided to buy it as a kit, and it's called 3 Sheets. And it is a wall hanging that actually fits inside of an old, washboard. And so here it is. I just think that's going to be perfect in my laundry room. Beautiful, beautiful wool. And I do think I have a washboard that's that big. I know I have a small one that's already hanging up in the laundry room, but there's some things that I haven't quite unpacked yet. Like when I was looking for Christmas ornaments this afternoon, I found my old wringer, washing machine wringer. Yeah, so I have to bring that up and hang it up. I decided, like I told you, that I was gonna have my older grandson decorate one of the trees. So we dug out all our Christmas ornaments. Boy, that's a lot of work. You know, I've been a Christmas fanatic most of my life. My dad and I were the Christmas elves. My mom, not so much, you know. I think that culturally in Korea that wasn't, it wasn't like here. Anyway, so my dad and I were the Christmas elves for sure. So I dug those out and was looking through the boxes and trying to decide what to do and where to, what I might still need. And I'm so glad that G and I bought a tree. I have asthma and allergies, so a fresh tree for years has not been part of my world. So we always have had an artificial tree, but we bought, because we have such a big entryway to our house, we bought a tree last year at the after Christmas sale, and boy am I glad we did, because when I saw that tree in Costco for $900, I about croaked. It was like, oh my gosh, I couldn't even imagine doing that, spending that kind of money on an artificial tree. Holy moly. Yeah, so do you decorate or do you wait do you wait to decorate till December, or do you do it right after Thanksgiving? It's so funny. I was in World Market, which is it's an interesting store because they have a lot of international things, and they have furniture and dishes and international foods and that kind of thing. That I was in there and I was shocked. I mean, there were people in line like around the corner almost. It was like so busy. And I noticed, this is a really funny story. This is such a funny story. Excuse me. I get bored really easily, and so things that are around me I really pay attention to. And I was standing in this line, and the lady standing in front of me had a cart, and she had one item in her cart. you know, I'm not sure I would have stood in line if I was only getting one item for that long. But she had one item in her cart, and it was a pillow. It was like a sofa pillow. And it was a modern, either a modern or a mid-century kind of design. It was very geometric. It had 4 different colors: a mustard, a black, a beige, and a brown. Kind of like, you know, and I am not kidding you. I am not kidding you. It was the exact colors of her outfit, what she was wearing. And I kept looking at the pillow and looking, because I was standing behind her, and looking at her outfit, and I'm going, and my brain is going, wow, she must really like these color combinations. And then this is what happens. This side says, you gotta say something. This side says, no, don't do it, Bandy, don't do it. And this side says, you gotta say something. And then this side says, don't do it, don't do it. Well, the issue is that I never listen to the one that says, don't do it. I never do. And so I said, excuse me, I noticed that your pillow matches your outfit. I mean, does anybody else talk to strangers? I talk to strangers. It's like, I can't help myself. I just talk to strangers. And she stopped, and she looked at her outfit, and she looked at her pillow, and she looked at her outfit, and then she looked at me and she goes, it is. I said, you must like those colors. I'm telling you. I am telling you. And then a few minutes later, her daughter walked up. She had been walking around the store, and her daughter walked up, and she kind of tried to quietly tell her daughter what I said, and she goes, but I could hear her. She goes, the lady behind me said the pillow matches my outfit, and it does. I am telling you. I am telling you. The world is an interesting place. It is such an interesting place. Well, I just saw something that I need to share with you before I forget to share it. I learned this from Lisa Bongian. Now, Lisa is the brains behind Primitive Gathering. She's the businesswoman and the designer behind Primitive Gatherings. One of my goals in life is to get to her new retreat place and shop. But I took a trip with her, and one of the things I learned, because she uses Valdani thread, and one of the things that happens is the little label that labels these spools, when you use so much of it, that label falls off. And if you want to get this exact number or weight or color, you don't remember what it is. And so she said, sew through the label, and then when you pull the thread off, just move that label down and it stays with the thread. Genius. Genius. That is why you want to take classes, you want to go on trips with people, because everybody has some little trick of the trade that they do that, you know, because before that I had things like this. What number is this? I have no idea. I have no idea. But this one I do, because the label is attached to the ball. So what are you going to be doing? Are you working on Christmas? Oh, I already did that one, huh? Did I do that one? Oh, yes, I did. Oh, no wonder I didn't know. I didn't have my glasses on. Oh, brother. In December, do you want to do Christmas stitching, or have you already moved on to winter and spring stitching? I'm still very much into the winter stitching. I know that I have more of Bonnie Sullivan's little pillows. I want to do those. And see, for me, I think snowmen are not just Christmas. They are definitely January too, because we can have a lot of snow. Man, the squirrels and the birds have been crowing. I've been putting dried corn on the cob out there, and some birdseed cakes, and they've been going wild for that stuff. Hungry because it's starting to get cold. It's definitely starting to get cold. And when I do these wool mats or wool stitching, some things I do the buttonhole stitch, and some things I do just a whip stitch, and you really can't tell unless you're like right on it, which most people are not. Most people are not, you know. So depending the small things, I just do a whip stitch. The buttonhole becomes too bulky for it. So like the tops to all of the little lights are all whip stitched. Yep. I will have to, let's see, this afternoon I'm going to prep root vegetables because I love roasted root vegetables. So I roast parsnips and rutabaga and Brussels sprouts. You know, I like to roast them with a little bit of salt and pepper, and the Brussels sprouts I like to have a little balsamic vinegar on it. I bought some Christmas music CDs to listen to here in the beehive. Kind of get me in the mood, you know what I mean? Yeah, get me in the mood. Okay. Well, I think I'll take a few more stitches and then go down and do some more prepping for Thanksgiving tomorrow. Again, happy Thanksgiving to those of you who are celebrating. And we shall see you after Thanksgiving. And I'll tell you how the feast went, okay? And keep on stitching. Love you guys. Talk to you soon.